Welcome to StreamLine Marketing Pro. This is Jenny Carlson, co-founder and 20-year real estate industry professional. Join me as I share one of the many features of the StreamLine Marketing Pro system. Hi, thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk about how to make edits within your website, specifically in this case for adding properties that you might want to add or delete from your property page. You can do this manually. This is for clients that have chosen not to use IDX on their website, but would still like to post properties. So we're going to talk about how to manipulate the boxes within your website so that you can add listings and delete listings from that. So here we go. We're going to get started. You're going to be in your website in our StreamLine Marketing Pro system, and you're going to see all your pages. So you're going to go to the page with your properties or whichever page that you're wanting to adjust these type of boxes. So this is your featured and showcase sales. And again, this is for agents who are choosing not to use the IDX. And you'll see here there's 3 boxes. You do have a lot of editing capability within each of these boxes. For instance, if you'll notice, you've got some white space over here to the right hand side. So you could potentially, you just click on the box and you go, when you click in the box, you see that the menu over on the right hand side has adjusted, right? So for instance, here you see the width of the photo is 250. You can change that. You could change that to 300. And the width has now changed. I'm going to change that back to 250. And so you have the option to change the width and the height of the photo. You have the option to do background color. You also can go ahead and do some adjustment of how this is presented within the box. And so that happens here under the styles. And this is where you can add margins or padding so that there's equalness on both sides. Let's just say 10. And 10 is unnecessary because the box is bigger. But you notice when I did 10 here, it did move it over to the right. So just remember that, the size of this box is somewhat static. And so when you add, you could make it 40 instead. Over here, you could go back over here. Let's go back over here and make it 40. And you'll see a dramatic move, right? So I'm going to zero this out. I'm going to bring these back to 0. And I'm going to show you down here under alignment. You can choose under alignment either to have this go to the left, the middle of the box, or to the right of the box, right? So those are your options. And in this case, this user is putting it over here to the left. Same thing with each box. You can choose to make edits. Again, you can create padding from either side. You can do a border. You can choose how the text aligns. You can do shadows, box shadows. There's just many, many features within each element that you can do. Today, we're going to talk more about adding and deleting these boxes, but I just wanted to make you aware that you can actually adjust all the elements within these columns. So, but let's just say you like these columns the way they are and you want to add more listings. It's very simple. Instead of adding an individual box to say, make it 4 listings, we could go ahead and go to the column row. You're going to see here that the blue box is highlighted and it says 1 column row. And if you notice at the top of the box, it's got the 4 arrows going different directions. It's got the little copy icon and then the delete icon. So in this case, we want to, and this is a little bit of a using your cursor so that you get to the right spot, but I'm going to hit duplicate. And what it did is you'll notice it threw a new row below, but it duplicated it exactly. So at this point, this is where you want to go in and you want to edit the elements within the copy that you just made. So you want to say it's a different listing. You want to change that photo. You're going to go back over here to the general for that image, and then you can choose from your media storage the correct image. And if you don't have the image in your media storage yet, you don't have to go out of the system to add that photo and then come back in. You can do it right here where you see upload. You can upload any images you need and do it right from the system. So I love this because it streamlines the process and you don't have to go from one screen to another. You can just do what you need to do. Now, let's say that you do want to add a fourth listing within the row. Maybe you want 4 instead of 3. So in that case, it's this box that you're actually going to duplicate. So these purple pinkish boxes, these are your column boxes. The blue box is your row box. So and you'll notice that each one has the label down at the bottom right hand side of the box as to what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and click the duplicate column, and now we have 4 listings. So if you like that layout better, you can definitely use it. And then to make your life easy, you can duplicate the column row. Now let's just say that instead of having 4 or even 3 listings, let's just say maybe you only have 2 listings for a row. And how do you do that without messing up the alignment of the properties? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of our extra listing that we just created there. And I'm going to, instead of deleting the column box, because we want the listings to line up top to bottom, one, the ones above it, below it. We don't want it to look weird. So we just want to maybe delete the content from that column box, because you can always add in that information later. So I'm going to delete the picture. I'm going to delete the wording. Okay. And now this is just a blank box. It's just a placeholder. Okay. But what that does is it keeps the alignment of the other 2 listings within that row. However, let's just say you didn't like the idea of having this blank box here. It does have the shadow, so you do see the box. You can go ahead and delete the column. What that's going to do is it's going to, as you can see, it adjusted those boxes and made the 2 boxes larger. So if you like that layout, definitely you can do that. That's the beauty of the system. You can do whatever works for you. And so that would be it. Now in this case, obviously, we're just playing. So we're just showing you how to do this. So let's just say you don't like anything you did, you want to delete it, you want to start over, whatever the case may be. You can go ahead and go here and just delete the whole column row. And so now we're back to what we had originally. So you have a lot of capability within the system to add more columns, add more listings, add more rows, add more sections. It's just a matter of knowing how to manipulate those boxes. And I'm going to go back here just for a minute and go ahead and duplicate this again. I'm going to delete this content, because maybe as a new user, you might be worried about, well, how do I know what I need to get this content back into this box when I have another listing to add, right? Well, a really easy way to go is just use the one to the left, duplicate. You'll see it through it down here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on these 4 arrows going in different directions and then drag it into the box. And it's that simple. You just copy, and then you can copy the element and then just drag it over. Okay. And that really saves you having to rebuild those elements. And then all you're doing is changing the name of the street and the price point. And so you're not having to redo that every single time. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to our office. We can set up a meeting with you, or we can do it over the phone or text as well. Just give you little pointers as you go. So feel free to reach out to us anytime. Thanks so much for joining.